All right, what's good? We back with the Sorry Is True podcast. This is my first time seeing this paperwork. I literally got my hands on it this morning. Didn't read through it yet. All I did was take a look at it, search the date, make sure that it was filed yesterday, make sure that it was real, it was accurate, and all that. We are going to read through this together. Okay. It looks like it's about 25 pages. And this is a new documentation and new paperwork filed by the Central District of California, and this happens to be right before Bricc Baby's, I believe, bail or bond hearing, right? So they're releasing some more information on why this man was taken into custody. Even though he was let out and he was walking around facing still those charges of the prior gun case that he had. And then after this, we're going to get into the interview of Baka speaking out and addressing the Not Like Us song with his name in it. Baka got a weird case. Why is he around? Certified lover boy. We're going to address that. And while we're addressing that, I'm going to pull up a bunch of backstory, history, some clips about Drake. And we're going to talk about, is Baka's, response to Kendrick, is it on point? Is he making valid points? Is him and Drake now being viewed from a different lens? We'll get into that. But being that this is 25 pages, let's get right to work. Okay. Let's take a look at this. All right. What do we got? And shout out to the whole chat. I see y'all coming in here. Shout out to all the members and shout out to the mods. I appreciate y'all as always. All right. Let's get going. Attorneys for plaintiff, United States of America, United States District Court for the Central District of California, United States of America versus plaintiff. And then we know his full name at this point, aka Bricc Baby, aka Big Shitty, aka MPA. I still don't know what the hell this one is. MPA Shitro, Shitty Montana, Bricc Baby shit. Okay, y'all got it. All right. Memorandum in opposition to defendant Zaire Mitchell's application for bail reconsideration. Okay. Opposition to this. So once again, this is being filed because they like, man, do we really want him to be released on bail or on bond as he awaits trial? Let's see what they're saying. Plaintiff, United States of America, by and through its counsel of record, the United States Attorney for Central District of California and Assistant United States Attorney. Okay, that's basically who. Okay, we got it. This memorandum is based on the below referenced points and authorities, the files and records in this case, and such further evidence and argument as the court may permit, respectfully submitted. Okay. All right. Look at this table of contents. Jesus. Memorandum of points and authorities. You got the introduction, statement of facts. The defendant is intercepted discussing criminal activity, including pointing a firearm at his partner and child. What? I promise y'all, I haven't read this yet. I looked at the top to make sure it was filed yesterday. I haven't read this yet. Okay. This is brand new for me, people. Okay. Pointing a gun at his partner and his child. All right. We're not going to say that that's 100% accurate. This is their opposition. So maybe they're exaggerating things and they just want to make sure that he's denied bail. But that sounds crazy. But it's just table of contents. All right. We'll get to more details below. Firearms and ammunition are recovered from defendant's home. We saw that already in prior paperwork. Defendant is recorded on intercepted calls making other admissions. All right. So they got him on a bunch of calls talking shit where they feel like it's incriminating. And he's talking about possible criminal activity. All right. Defendant continues to threaten violence and carry firearms. We know where that came from. So the threatening of the violence, he's had a bunch of still threats and things that he's said on the No Jumper podcast ever since he's been locked up for the gun, right? The gun thing was like over a year ago, right? So the Kill Squad thing comes to mind, right? When he crashed out and we came up to No Jumper, he had the red hoodie. I'll put Kill Squad in the street. Stop giving niggas the Addy then. What? I'll kill. Like, he really, really crashed out. And it was great content for Adam 22 and No Jumper. The streets ate it up. The podcast ate it up. Adam 22 is happy. But here in paperwork, they used that. That was on camera. That's when him and DW Flames was going through it. Remember the ex-host? All these gang members Adam 22 want to bring up there, huh? Yeah, DW Flames. He's another guy that ain't there no more. But anyway, that's back when DW Flames and Bricc Baby was going back and forth behind some disrespect. disrespectful words that were said on each other's gangs or whatever, right? Bricc Baby goes up there, kind of confronts the situation. He's tired of all the trolling. He's tired of the internet, and he just crashed. He just crashed. He just flipped the fuck out. And the whole thing that we just read, let me go back over here. The whole thing that we just read right there of and carry firearms. Well, there you have it. That's the day before they was arrested, and when he flashed loose cannon his gun on camera. On camera. And they put it right here. Okay. Defendant is charged with repeatedly possessing a firearm and ammunition despite numerous felony convictions. Oh, that's got to be tied. The morning of defendant's instant arrest, he had an unsecured firearm and ammunition in reach of his young child. I don't like that at all. I don't like none of this shit, to be honest. But that right there is a whole different story because let me take my time. Watch this. This is the type of references that come to mind when I read stuff like this. How many children are killed by parents' gun per year? Let's try something like that. Let me see this. Gun deaths. What is this? Gun deaths among U.S. children and teens rose 50% in the last 2 years. I wanted to see if I can get an actual number. Oh, 2,590 per year? 2,590 kids per year? Damn, the impact. Wow. Unintentional firearm injury deaths among children. Let me look at that real quick. Unintentional firearm injury deaths among children and adolescents aged 0 through 17 years. National Violent Death Reporting System, United States, 2003 through 2021. So it's not updated report, but what do we got here? Similar numbers that I'm seeing. Okay. Yeah, so I'm big on paying attention to that. The accidental death thing. So loaded guns in the reach of children. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good, Bricc. And they're gonna have a problem with that. That's even child services type of shit, right? They don't have a big problem with that, but they put it in here. All right. Defendant's criminal history is full of violence and supervision violations. Okay, 2006 narcotics and obstruction of law enforcement, 2010 reckless evading involving assault with deadly weapon, 2012 to 2014 narcotics convictions, 2016 criminal threats conviction, 2020 robbery conviction, misdemeanors, arrest, and other conduct, defendants, fraud crimes. Yeah, I saw a picture on the internet with a whole bunch of Bricc Baby's mugshots. He's what some people will call a problem child and got into a lot of shit. And that's why I guess he's going to him and his defense are going to paint a picture of we've steered down the right path while we finally got ourselves a decent job with no jumper. And Adam 22 is probably going to testify to that for him as well, if he has the opportunity. But yeah, the guy's got a lot of criminal history. All right. Defendant was detained based on the risk of flight and danger. So we saw that the other day. That's why he was brought in. Well, that's what the paperwork is saying. They swept up all these rolling 60s, including Big U and Loose Cannon, and several of them are connected in a similar RICO and have similar charges, extortion, and the murder cases in there, and all this stuff going on. Bricc Baby is not in that paperwork. He's picked up separately. And another thing that we did, people, the other day, is just to be fair and to be real. When we read through his case and his docket, there was no telling. All right, Whack. I know Whack is finally coming around now, saying like, "Oh no, I might have been wrong about that. I wasn't saying that well, maybe he's not snitching, but the reason why is because he was getting extorted." So it's just like Whack. Right, just out there, just calling people snitches without any paperwork, and then me, the taxpaying civilian, gets up here and reads the docket and said, "I ain't seen no damn snitching." And here comes Whack a week later. Not saying because of me, but well, he was just getting extorted only. Like it's just bullshit. Like y'all just keep breaking the codes. It's nasty. Y'all street niggas. But anyway, so we saw that. That's one of the reasons why. And you don't round up all them rolling 60s and just leave Bricc there as if he's gonna sit there and just be like, oh, la-di-da, nothing's going on. That's what Whack is doing. Whack is acting like there's nothing going on around him. Bricc, they looked at like, nah, once we pick up all these rolling 60s, we got to get his ass too. That's the way this is all put in the actual black and white. Okay. Legal standards for pre-trial detention. Defendant should remain detained. Nature of circumstances of the offenses, weight of the evidence, history of characteristics of defendant, nature of seriousness of danger posed by defendant's release. Defendant's proposed property bond is insufficient. Property also he's already started the bond motions there, and I guess somebody in his family, somebody started trying to put up some property or some collateral, and they're deeming that insufficient. Because if you don't got the cash, you got to have the assets, right? That's where you see people, family members, mothers, fathers, and all that start putting up cribs and houses. So it looks like that process has started, at least from what we just read, and it ain't cutting it for them. So damn, they got a lot of reasons why. All right, and it looks like these are the cases from the dates that they outlined above. United States versus, and you see a name that isn't his, but you see a comma. So it's no different than up here when, I mean, of course, these are aliases, but if we was looking at like Diddy paperwork, right, we probably see a bunch of aliases and company names, and so I think that's what this represents here. At least that's what it looks like. So these appear to be, I guess, some of his cases. Oh no, it can't be, because this one right here says 1972. So some of these got to be references. But the reason why obviously some of these are directly related to him is because I think we do see his name. I think I just saw his name here. That doesn't mean Zaire, does it? So maybe I'm right with the second point that these are just references. All right, we'll get there regardless. All right, United States versus Windsor. Yeah, still references. All right, let's scroll down here. Memorandum of points of authorities introduction. Defendant Zaire Mitchell, defendant, asked this court to be released pending trial, arguing that the secured property bond is sufficient to reasonably assure his appearance and safety and any other person of the community. To the contrary, defendant's criminal history shows a dedication to crime. And what is that? Recidivism? Yo, you courts, man. They didn't put these words in my books when I was a kid. What the fuck is recidivism? No matter what the consequences. All right, just say doesn't give a shit no matter the consequence. Every time we lock him up, he goes outside, he breaks more crowds. You could have just wrote that instead of trying to teach me new words. All right, moreover, his conduct during the investigation in this case shows the same dedication to a life of crime and inability to comply with the rule of law. That's no different than a stream we did the other day when I had OJ Simpson in the fucking thumbnail. And I used him as a reference to say, everybody in these topics, or not everybody, the theme of the stream is people needing to learn when the fuck it's time to sit down. You just beat a murder. Why are you stealing shit? You know what I'm saying? If you get away with some shit, sit the fuck down. You was given a second chance. You have a high-speed car collision and everybody walks away without a scratch. It's time to stop speeding. Pulp Fiction, he comes out of the bathroom and he dumps the whole fucking AK, well, not the AK, that was like a fucking a revolver on him. And nobody gets touched. Maybe you think it's divine intervention. Okay, quit the life that you're in. You was given a second chance, and some people, they would deem that a miracle. They're saying this guy with all that shit we laid out above, he still wants to get on camera and crash out and threaten people and flash guns and get picked up for this. And then we go to his house and he's got a gun in reach of a child, and he's still, and that's the thing, man. It's like hard-headed people, despite even going through the system. All right, the indictment first alleges that defendant in shooting at individuals possessed ammunition expelled from a firearm July 12, 2022. Then on June 21st, 2023, defendant was captured on the intercepted call arguing with the significant other, in which she repeatedly recounted the defendant had pointed a gun at her while she was holding his infant child. Oh, so that's on audio? That's recorded. Wow. Execution of a search warrant at defendant's home followed, and 3 firearms, including an AK-47 style gun and over 125 rounds. So that's when he was initially was arrested. Okay, of ammunition were found. So they got that. All right, we already knew about that. After law enforcement seized these weapons and arrested defendant, he continued undeterred. In March 2024, defendant erupted at his place of employment. This is what we were just talking about, threatening individuals in the room and online with death, fighting security, and later admitting to possessing a firearm during that incident. They are killing y'all from these podcasts. They are killing y'all from these podcasts, B. It doesn't matter. Yo, it doesn't matter whether you thought you was doing it for content or you didn't really flash a gun at that time or you was just arguing. If they have charges on you or if they're trying to deny your bail or if your ass is getting taken to trial, they're going to at least reference it, which paints a picture. This isn't guilty, not guilty time. This is a different formality here. This is, will we let you go for bail? And they paint these pictures of, we got five, wiretaps and pointing a gun at his wife and his girl. He keeps breaking the law. There's this incident in 2024 when him and DW Flames is on the podcast and he gets up and he talks about putting Kill Street in Kill Squad in the street. And, over here, he flashed a gun with loose cannon. And it's just painting a picture. It's just painting a picture. When they get reviews, somebody's got to read through all this shit. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to say, then on top of that, you're not even giving us the adequate, real estate or bond money, so to speak. Man, denied. Man, shit, they denied Diddy. You think I read all of this? If Diddy's paperwork don't read as dangerous as this. I don't think it does. Well, Diddy's got money, so that's an unlimited amount of power in some people's perspective, but we ain't gonna switch lanes. But I'm just saying, his shit reads way crazy. They're gonna deny this shit. What the fuck? Threatened to kill. During the podcast, sitting across from the person, defendant brandished a firearm in his waistband. That's the day before they was picked up. That's the loose cannon shit. You probably got street niggas and internet gangsters that watch podcasts like this, situations like this, read paperwork like this, and they still gonna come on the internet and do the same shit. Insane. By pure definition, insanity. Doing the same thing but expecting a different outcome. Y'all are insane. Insane, B. When defendant was arrested the following day, an unsecured firearm with multiple magazines of live ammunition matching that scene in the defendant's waistband on the podcast were found where defendant was staying with his young child. That's another thing too. Like, Adam 22 is not going to protect you. Watch this. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna say it. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. I'm thinking to myself, like, should I say it? Yeah, because I'm not like these niggas. Yeah. Let me make the clear separation. The two Adams. Fuck it. This is real talk. This is so factual. The footage is there. The phone calls are there. The people will attest that I'm not capping right now. I never do. If I'm lying on podcasts, it's by accident. I never will intentionally lie on no fucking podcast or camera. For what? I gotta look myself in the mirror. Like, you see how I'm saying Adam 22 will get to the chopping block of the editing board and see that Bricc Baby either did it intentionally or unintentionally, but his gun was shown and he's a convicted felon. Okay. And they're not going to edit that out. They're not. Now that I think about this, it's wild too, because did they blur? No, they didn't blurt it out for Whack 100 neither. They're not protecting none of you niggas. None of you Adam 22 don't give a fuck about y'all. When Whack got up and Hootie Rush, was that Flacco? And his gun showed on his hip, they didn't blurt it out. They put it out for everybody to see. Same thing with Bricc Baby right now. They put out the content for the world to see, for the agencies, the authorities to see. Let me show you what I did now. Fuck the content. This shit right here is incriminating. At the Hitman versus Bill Collector face-off, your most charismatic and biggest battle rapper that a lot of people would argue came to the face-off. He was not on the card. It's very easy to know who I'm talking about by saying that. He was in the building too. Oh man, I'm trying. I'm trying. He was walking around the parking lot outside the face off in the hotel. Um, I'm the one that's up here that says speaking in code don't work, right? So this is tough. I just really want to make this point though. He was walking around in a way he wasn't supposed to be fucking walking around, clearly as if he wanted the world to see, right? And he did an interview with one of the biggest platforms, battle rap platforms. And I'm standing there watching it. I'm behind the camera watching the interview, not because of that, because the whole parking lot is like that. It's just you can't see it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's the sea. This where's the sharks everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So I'm watching it just from a league understand what's this nigga saying on camera. I'm kind of trolling him a little bit off camera and shit. You know, if you know I'm talking about, me and him had that type of relationship, right? It's the same, it's the same night. What's the point of speaking in code? I'm trying to take my own advice. It's the same night where I spoke to him face to face about when he took my contract and presented it elsewhere while I was negotiating with him for him versus Math Hoffa on RBE. Same night, right? His boy was sitting there while we was talking face to face watching. Shot over here. I mean, me and we standing right there having our car laughing, joking about all that. But when he did that interview, and I saw the way he was presented on the interview, I called the owner of the channel and I said, yo, do me a favor. It's not even my channel, and he's not even on my card. I called the owner of the channel and I said, yo, do me a favor. When you release that footage, expand out the video so that there's a part of the footage in the frame that you can't see on the camera. You know what the person on the interview told me? He said, I didn't even realize that. It's right there for everybody to see. He's just la-di-da-di-da-di-da doing interviews. I'm paying attention to all this type of shit. And I'm like, expand it. And he said, okay. And now the interview is up there. If you go watch it, the framing is because of me. I don't even know if the rapper knows that I did that. And in my mind, I've made that call because I'm protecting him. We ain't the best of friends. You know, we don't even work together. We never even broke bread together. We was just cool. And we just had that little funny type of relationship. You know what I'm saying? So I'm protecting him. I'm protecting fan perception. This interview goes out. You got people walking around like that. It doesn't look good for battle rap fans. I ain't going to no events. Look how it don't look good. You know, it don't look correct enough. I didn't like it. I don't think anybody would have liked it. I think he would have realized, oh shit, everybody, but I made the call. It wasn't just, oh, content. It's not even my content. You know, I don't give a fuck. No, Adam 22 is opposite. He wants that there. Actually, he probably will give it to you as a fucking prop and say, content, cut the camera on before. He'll do that. And I don't know how I just got sidetracked like this to this little. I'm so fucking. I'm not blaming Adam 22 anymore. I'm not. It's not Adam 22. It's not Vlad. Everybody is watching this shit now for years. And y'all still want to blame Vlad and Adam 22, who gives y'all niggas a check and says, come on up here and tell me your story. Remember when we covered on the stream the little teenagers that was still in school that went up to the No Jumper podcast because Adam 22 wanted to get the juicy content of they was in the video of the Joker, the alleged kid that was involved in Gilly's son's murder. They brought them two up to the podcast, and they didn't say shit. Wasted Adam 22's money. But you grown ass gangsters, seasoned veterans, get on these podcasts and flash your guns, purposefully interview with your gun bulging out, and you be convicted felons. You don't even be people that are legally licensed. Like, there's people that could get on camera right now and do gun tutorials legally. They're licensed. These be convicted fucking felons getting on camera like this, flashing guns, showing guns, talking about kill squad. I got more skulls in the hood than you got squabbles. And the whole world gets to watch this shit end up in paperwork, and they will still go do the same shit next week. Lil Baby tried. Like, Lil Baby is one of the first people I see try to switch up. Like, no more 4 p.m. It's too late. They already on your ass. It's just, are they gonna get you or not? You know what I'm saying? They on his ass though. But it's like, it's insane. Stop blaming Adam 22 and Vlad. Stop. It's stupid at this point. It's fucking dumb to blame somebody else at this point. These motherfuckers want the clout. They love them cameras. In my humble opinion, I'm gonna get back to the paperwork right now. I'm sorry. Apologies for the rant. It's a podcast. What are you supposed to do? You're supposed to talk. In my humble opinion, attention is the worst drug. It's the most harmful drug. Right? The 80s, we had the crack epidemic. Yes. You go out certain places of the country, that crystal meth, whew, one of the most addictive and destructive drugs in the world. Cocaine, they call it a rich man's drug. You got the Pablo Escobars of the world that came through and created $1 billion industry of that shit. Yeah. Yeah. I had people in my family that were functional cokeheads, though. I watched cokeheads, didn't even know that they was doing coke. You know what I'm saying? But attention, I could get on my Instagram right now and do one thumb swipe and see at least 5 different posts where I could see people are wilding for attention. It's insane. Oh my God. All right, back to the paperwork. Firearm in his waistband. All of the above conduct occurred after years of violent crimes, firearm possession, evading charges, and trouble conduct disseminated throughout the internet. Defendants' lengthy periods of incarceration and supervision have not deterred him from continuing to commit dangerous crimes. So they're saying he's not learning a lesson. Every time we let him go, or he's released, or he serves his time, he comes out and breaks more laws. There is no reason to believe this arrest will be any different, and the safety of the public demands and that the defendant remain detained. Now, you want to know why? I'm not here to wish no jail on Bricc Baby, but you want to know why? Logically, if you're in the shoes of like those courts and you're reading this, why that makes sense, and you're just like, yeah, you agree. Because on the flip side, if you paint the history of it, if you show the pattern, just like in yesterday's stream, we talk about Drake with the pattern, you show the pattern of behavior. And then what happens? You give this person bond, he goes out, he breaks the law again, or somebody gets hurt or something, or even him, then they all got to look at each other and say, how are we doing our job? This was written up and put in front of me, and I said, well, who cares? Give him bond still. Like, that's once again insanity. This person that got to read and make a decision based on this, the judge or whoever, that it would be insanity. I'm doing the same thing. I keep giving him time, or I keep giving him bail, and he keeps doing. So now I'm being insane too, expecting him to do something different by giving him bond. So now you got 2 insane people. Yes, I seen it, chat. I seen that interview, and I'm probably leave it alone. I don't care for it too much. All right. Statement of facts. Defendant is intercepted discussing criminal activity, including pointing a firearm at his partner and child. Okay, I want to read this one a little bit more. Yeah. In the first several months of 2023, defendant was intercepted on multiple court-authorized Title III wiretaps, both on his phone and his associate's phone. Sheesh. So he was under investigation so much that they got approval to wiretap his girl's phone, or they just saying it was via his tap that they got her. It says wiretaps both on his phone and his associate's phone. Damn. On multiple calls, defendant discussed criminal activity. Oh, my bad. So that I need to just finish the sentence. That's not the baby mom's one. Okay, thank God. I was about to say they had her tapped. See, this proved that I didn't read this shit yet. Throughout March 23, defendant discussed how the mother of his children accused him of pointing a gun at her, and defendant claimed it was a lie. Okay. But on June 20th, 2023, a second person accused defendant of the same conduct. That day, defendant's significant other, KC, stated, "You pulled a gun out on me with your daughter. You pulled a gun out on me in front of your fucking daughter. You pointed a gun at me with your bitch ass." Defendant responded, "I don't give a fuck, nigga." So that's an admission to what he did. They got him wiretap saying that. "I don't give a fuck, bitch. Ever since I've been with you." Oh, all right. The following day, defendant argued with Casey again about her picking up her daughter, ordering her to take the fucking baby outside, "You stupid bitch. You sit in the house all day, you dumbass hoe." Casey told defendant she could not walk or drive because defendant fucked up her leg and that he was the one who hit on people. So they're saying that he hit her right there too. Defendant responded, "Man, on 6-0, he be banging on his BM? Man, on 6-0, shut the fuck up, bitch. I just told you, nigga. You keep playing with a nigga. You just want to see a nigga." Wow. Defendant told KC to leave and said that they were done. On the same day, KC again stated, "It's so fucked up that you can't even apologize for the shit that you do. You've never apologized for treating me bad, pulling a gun on me like this. Shit is cool for you, but you want me to go to do shit for you. You talking about you don't want me, shit you got going on, but you're gonna pull a gun out on me and my child though, right?" Defendant responded on 6-0, "Yeah, you don't get, I don't give a fuck, bitch. I don't give a fuck. I don't on 6-0 Crip, nigga." Why she keep saying you pulled the gun on me, you pulled the gun on me? Now, of course, but then you're right. If you, as a mother, your fucking baby daddy pulls a gun on you, it's okay to say it a million times. But I don't know. As I read that little interaction, it just feels like she's wired, like she's trying to get it fucking well known to get his emissions. I don't know. You just don't know these days, man. Like that's not far fetched to me. Fuck it. Wow. All right, let's continue. Firearms and ammunition are recovered from defendant's home. We're going to skip all of that. We know that already. We read through that paperwork prior. Defendant is recorded on intercepted calls making other admissions. Okay, let's see this. Throughout the remaining period of the wiretaps, defendant made countless assertions or threats pertaining to violent conduct and weapons possession. For example, on February 20th, 2023, defendant stated that he did not respect the elders in the gang who would pop anyone on 6-0. On March 6, 2023, defendant was on the phone with his mother, the proposed surety here, and found the mother of his child outside of his house. He told his mother that the mother of his child was in gangland and wanted to expire early. Okay. Defendant asked the mother of his child if she wanted to die in front of her son on 6-0, as defendant's mother screamed at him to stop because he may be recorded. He may be being recorded. Why would she say that? And why is he threatening to kill his BM so much? Jesus. On March 6, 2023, defendant told KC that the police were acting stupid, that he was tired of doing what they told him to, and that he was ready to. Whoa. Wack's gonna run with that. Wack is gonna run with that line. On March 26, 2023, defendant told Casey that the police were acting stupid and that he was tired of them he was tired of doing what they told him to. Wack is gonna run crazy with that. Yo, did y'all peep my reaction on that? This is so live and so genuine and so in the moment. I was reading, I was like, whoa, what? Because I'm laughing because I think that's kind of harmless. Well, let's keep reading this, see. But I just know that that type of sentence, the way it could be perceived so easily. Whoa. Whoa. That's the new I just read something that's crazy today. Whoa. Damn. Oh, I'm tearing a little bit. What they told him to, and now he was ready to shoot the mother of his child. Later that day, defendant told another unidentified male that he will kill the mother of his child on 6. So he's on her heels, huh? Well, they got a lot going on. Sheesh. Last person you want to be in danger despise the person. I mean, people be killing their baby mothers and their baby fathers. Like we see those cases all the time. It's wild, man. Yeah, they got a toxic relationship. On March 28, 2023, defendant said that he would body slam. Jesus Christ. What do y'all got me reading? He would body slam the mother of his child on her neck to stop playing with him. In the same call, defendant discussed how it felt to kill someone and have to go to school and play basketball the next day. That's super incriminating. See, I'm not laughing at the domestic type of shit people, obviously, but I always try to find an opportunity to be fair, even when people might think I'm reaching. I try just to show that I don't be on people's heels, man. I'm here to do the black and white thing for us, not for them. I'm not here for these niggas. I don't know them. I don't want to know them. Um, Truth is, there'd be a lot of domestic disputes that be just like this, where the man is throwing those type of threats around daily, weekly, monthly. I'll kill you. I'll slam you on your fucking neck. Stop playing me. It's like sometimes a man feels like he needs to resort to that level of threat because of the physical dominance that a man has over a woman. So like you can't continually threaten a man like that, right? So like niggas, I'm like, do it. What the fuck is you talking about? You know what I'm saying? A lot of women, they're not gonna meet that threat halfway and say, I'll slam you on your neck. It's like a physical misalignment. You see what I'm saying? And I feel like in the nature of tense arguments, guys go to that trump card with a woman a lot. If in a toxic relationship, even if they never do it, you know what I'm saying? Even if they never do it, but he's doing it at the extreme. He's putting on his gang on 6-0. He's pointing guns at her allegedly. I don't know. I don't know. That's the only fairness I could toss him. But then, soon as we toss that, we read the self-incriminating shit that he says right after that, which is in the same call, defendant discussed how it felt to kill someone and have to go to school and play basketball the next day. Well, he's the one screaming that he got more skulls and squabbles in the hood. Defendant continues to threaten violence and carry firearms. In addition to intercepted calls online, defendant continued to threaten violence, carry firearms, and discuss both. For example, so this is the crash out video that we was talking about earlier on. Yeah, this is the one where he came up there. Okay. Most of us have seen it at this point. In June 2024, defendant argued over the phone with an individual and claimed he had killed more people than the other had fought. We saw that on a podcast when he was arguing with Loose Cannon about who put you on, who performed your put on, who'd you fight, and all this type of shit, which he repeated many times, and later attempting to downplay this claim. Defendant stated that even if he had one murder, that would be more than the other person had fights. In March 18, 2025, this was the day before they got picked up. Joined the same podcast during the film, and defendant showed that he had a handgun. I didn't scroll down this, people. I swear to God on everything. I did not scroll down this. Everything that we've already said, they got the exhibits in the paperwork. I swear to God, I did not scroll down this. I was rushing this morning and just pulled this shit out. I didn't even get a chance to skim this shit. Lawyer gotta go ASAP Rocky. It's not a real gun. That's what the lawyer gotta do. Good job. Wow. Defendant is charged with repeatedly possessing a firearm and ammunition despite numerous felony convictions. Defendant is now charged with multiple counts of possessing a firearm and ammunition, all in violation. Yes. Wait. What's this? The first charge stems from defendant shooting 3 bullets in a business parking lot in July of 2022 to ward off would-be robbers. So this is the AK case, I believe. July 2022, right? So they're saying he shot 3 times to get some robbers up off of him. The second charge involves all the firearms and ammunition found in his home. June 2023. So which one is it? So July is when he was shooting 2022, but when they came to all right. So when they came to his crib, they found all that shit a year later. He keep getting all these chances a year later. That's when they found all the shit in his crib. Wow, that's crazy. Then they say all his other convictions, 2010, 2012, 2014, 2016, 2020, respectively. While the pretrial services report includes a longer criminal history without a state conviction. So they don't even got all his shit in here. Bricc is out here wilding, boy. The morning of defendant's instant arrest, he had an unsecured firearm and ammunition in reach of his young child. All right, let's read a little bit of this. I mean, I feel like that's summed up, but all right, this is the day it was grabbed. On March 19, 2025, law enforcement arrested defendant on felon in possession charges in the indictment at his residence in Gardena, California, with a significant other and young child. Agent found a Glock 26 firearm and 17-round Glock magazine with 16 rounds of 9mm ammunition, as well as another magazine and 16 rounds of 9mm ammunition. Defendant kept all of that unsecured despite residing with his significant other and child he had already threatened with a firearm before. Despite being arrested with all the firearms and ammunition at his residence in June 2023, also despite his many felony convictions prohibiting him from possessing firearms or ammunition, and despite California Penal Code prohibiting possession of large capacity magazines, i.e., those holding more than 10 rounds. I said that on a stream recently too. State to state is this different gun laws. And I do remember that. I remember them headlines like in California where it's like y'all had to turn in a lot of y'all magazines and shit. I remember that. It's like if you had magazines over a certain round capacity, y'all had to swap them bitches out. And I don't know if those laws and when those new sanctions pass, they also have the ability to come knock on your door. I'm not saying that they got a warrant, but there's stipulations involved in that shit when they change those laws as if like it gives them a way to be able to check them. I forget. I read that shit again. I remember when that shit happened in California though. I was like, damn, y'all niggas can't have more. Y'all niggas be having rifles that have like 30 round, standard magazine capacity, and y'all niggas got 10 rounders now. Like, fuck. Like, I remember that shit. But they're killing him. They're killing him. Defendant's criminal history is full of violence and supervision violations. The 2006 narcotics and obstruction of law enforcement. That's over 20 years, almost over 20 years ago. Defendant earned his first felony from narcotics distribution conviction. 2010, reckless evading involving assault with a deadly weapon. Let me take a look. What did he do assault wise? In 2010, defendant's criminal charges escalated with a charge for assault with a deadly weapon with great bodily injury, likely, and a conviction for evading a peace officer with disregard to safety. Defendant was sentenced to 365 days in jail and 3 years probation, in violation of which resulted in 2 years of confinement. According to the certified conviction records and police reports for the original crime, police saw a sex worker enter defendant's car. A defendant then sped off upon seeing police. Defendant led police on a high-speed chase through stop signs and red lights. At some point, defendant pushed the female out of the moving vehicle. The victim landed on her face. The defendant ran over her thigh with his car. The victim later stated that she asked to be let out multiple times, but defendant refused until he later threw her out. The victim also stated that defendant said he had something he needed to get rid of during the chase and threw a handgun out the window. Yo, I need to redo this thumbnail. This shit needs to just be like Bricc Baby by himself and a big picture of paperwork or something. Like, I thought the Drake topic, I'm so unscripted and so I could do this shit so live with y'all. I don't gotta read off the side and read a script like some of these, and some of them are dope, but all right, they read. I'm not live. Like, I mean, I'm not scripted. Like, I fumble on words and shit. Like, I might go change I thought the Drake topic was gonna be like 35, 40 minutes or some shit, and Bricc Baby was gonna be this is insane, this paperwork. And they are not going to give him bail or bond. Hold on. It's getting a little hot for me. Hold on, y'all. It's getting a little too warm in here. This is insane. Be like, this judge is supposed to let this nigga get a bond. Really? You read you read this shit, Diddy fans is gonna be like, no way we saw this fucking Bricc Baby paperwork and y'all ain't giving Diddy a bond. I saw DJ Vlad say he heard word from somebody that has inside into the feds or something that Diddy's might be getting a bond, but that's another story. Yo, this paperwork is insane, B. This nigga Brick. Yeah, that alleged prostitute situation is crazy. Niggas, he ran over and shit. She, damn, son. Mm-mm-mm. 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 Appreciate you, Kenneth, one of our members in the chat. I see y'all. I'm gonna try to get to the chat, but I knew that we had some reading to do, so I'm trying to zone in. All right, let's get back. Let's see what else is relevant in here. 2012 to 2014 narcotics convictions. Upon his release in 2012, defendant was arrested for transportation of controlled substances. All right, drug dealing. Like we don't gotta go crazy on that. Criminal threats conviction. Oh, so he got convicted of some threats. Let me read that. On August 2nd, 2016, defendant was convicted of criminal threats and sentenced to 2 years in state prison, although he was given yet another opportunity with a suspension of the execution of the sentence and 3 years formal probation. He violated that probation multiple times, even receiving a no bail bench warrant for his failure to appear for violating a hearing. Yo, he is Brick. You got it, G. You got it. You got it. So I was pausing for a second, like, damn, he got convicted for 2 years for criminal threats, but at the same time, I mean, we don't got that paperwork, and I don't care about that circumstance to go read deep into it. But you also got to consider his priors, right? Maybe he says a threat with his priors and his jacket and his history and gets a 2 year conviction. Maybe with my record, I get probation off the rip. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but 2 years. And then they said, you know what? Instead, we're just going to give you 3 years probation. And not only did he fuck up that probation instead of having to serve the 2 years, but he ended up getting issued a bench warrant for failure to appear. That's like, who just got a default judgment the other day? It was like 120 something $1,000, right? For defamation, Blueface, for not appearing. Just a default judgment. You get these dates to appear or to respond. The defense never shows up. Judge says, "Where are you?" Okay, fine. Right, and they awarded the plaintiff their claims. Wow, he violated his probation when he had a chance to stay outside, just for not even showing up. Yeah, Brick is a wild boy. 2020 robbery conviction. On October 7, 2020, defendant was convicted of robbery and sentenced to 6 years imprisonment. This arrest also featured a high-speed chase and barricade incident that defendant glamorized in his music. Local rap, they put the exhibit, local rapper arrested after standoff. And he put in his music. They use that too. Misdemeanors, arrest, and other conduct. I don't care about the juvenile misdemeanor stuff. I'll leave that alone. But I'm gonna keep it 1,000, man. Like when you got a history like this, like if Adam 22 reads this, if he's smart, he'll be careful, man, because like Adam 22, like he says that he goes to functions with Brick. He befriends these people. He hangs out with them. These people, by nature, Bricc Baby by nature is violent. All the way back to his juvenile years. You can see that in his paperwork. You can see his history is a violent person. Adam 22 is the guy that doesn't come from your culture. He doesn't come from your hood. He didn't grow up with you. He didn't go to school with you. You guys don't really identify with each other. He's up there saying gay shit and whatnot. You guys are totally different people. Aggressive, violent, urban, street cultured, white, passive, suburban, bisexual, alleged, like two totally different people. And he's providing opportunity. none of these people with their misalignments can you make me believe that they would hang out with Adam 22 outside of the opportunity to make some money with him. So where do I lead with that? If these same people that are not aligned with you are willing to break their baby mother's neck or point a gun at their baby mother while they're holding their child, allegedly, what the fuck would they do to you? Like, you put yourself around some, they say sometimes you are the circle you keep. And Adam 22, I said, he's not a stupid guy, but this is why y'all get at me and say, ARP, stop telling people that they're smart. I got to start categorizing it. Like, no, he's smart at podcasting. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't put myself around a bunch of bricks all year long because I could end up getting the feds knocking at my door. But for the love of money, people will ride in those lanes and put themselves around those people because Adam 22 is making millions of dollars. He's looking at it working. So he's just like, I gotta accept those risks along the way. And that's wild. It's wild. All right. What else is in here? He's not getting bond, people. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion. Defendant's fraud crimes. Then he got some big U-related shit too. Applying on FEMA benefits by claiming to be a renter of a property in Pasadena, California, destroyed in the Eaton fire in January 2020. Moreover, in his digital devices seized during his previous arrest, defendant was in possession of multiple social security numbers, addresses, and other personal identifying information that he had bought on WhatsApp. Defendant even had a photograph of a driver's license with his photograph, but a different name, address, and state. So that identity theft shit they be treating that shit like murders. Like, Bricc is he. Bricc is he, dog. Like, wow. Defendant was detained based on risk of. All right, so that's why we know that already. Legal standards of pretrial detention. Let's see that. A defendant must be detained pending trial where no condition or combination of conditions will reasonably assure the appearance of a person as required and the safety of any other person in the community. Not just his baby mother, not just his ops, not just his enemies, any person in the community. Detention is thus appropriate for a defendant who is either a danger to the community or a flight risk. And now here goes these references. The Bail Reform Act mandates individualized evaluation guided by the factors articulated in this particular, code. And then this reference, United States versus Diaz-Hernandez. Defendant should remain detained. All of the 3142 of these code factors justify ordering defendant to remain detained pending trial. Somebody is doing their job with this paperwork. I ain't gonna lie. Nature of circumstances of the offenses, the nature of the circumstances of defendant's offenses unequivocally weigh in favor of detention. Sounds like they do when we read them. I ain't gonna lie, man. Defendant's offenses, possession multiple firearms on multiple occasions and over 125 rounds of ammunition. It's just all these different laws that are broken on multiple occasions. This is crazy. Moreover, defendant faces a statutory maximum of 15 years for each count, as currently charged due to defendant's extensive criminal history, likely rendering him in criminal history category 5, and with enhancements for the type of number of firearms and obstruction of justice, defendant faces a likely guidelines range of 92 to 115 months imprisonment based on a total offense level of 24. Below are the guidelines calculations based on the information currently known. Base offense level 20 here, 3 firearms plus 2, obstruction plus 2. Sheesh. Significant incentive to flee, and given defendant's criminal history category, he is facing a guideline sentence of nearly 10 years. Weight of the evidence that defendant committed the charged offenses is overwhelming and cannot be ignored. How is this guy going to get bail? He's not going to get bail. History and characteristics of defendant. Yeah, now they're just like compounding all the facts that they put above. And they're just summarizing them of who he is, what he looks like, and what he's done. Defendant's proposed property bond. Let's take a look at that. While defendant's support from family shown by his mother's willingness to serve as a surety and put up a property bond on his behalf is admirable, there is no condition or combination of conditions to warrant his release pending trial. Even the proposed secured property bond would not mitigate defendant's danger to the community in light of the severity of his charged offenses and his serious, lengthy criminal history. And then they put a reference there. I thought they was going to put like the money amount, to be honest. Even if defendant agreed to other conditions, those limitations, including electronic monitoring, would all suffer from the critical flaw in that they depend on defendant's good faith compliance in order to be effective. So they're saying we don't even trust them on certain release terms. In particular, electronic monitoring does not prevent a defendant from committing crimes within the monitoring radius. They are covering every fucking angle here. Conclusion: this court should therefore order defendants' continued detention pending trial. There you have it. What y'all think in the chat, man? From a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being he isn't, and no, I'm sorry, 10 being that he will get bond, and 1 being that he will not get bond. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being that he won't get bond, put in the chat what y'all think is about to happen after we read what they just proposed for his detention proposal. Scale from 1 to 10, what y'all think? Now, seeing the 8 up here makes me curious. I said 1 to 10. You got people putting zeros and negative ones, and so why do we have comments like this? Lunia 6 C66. These cats want to see this man jailed. Wow. So I think that would apply if I said, hey, chat, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you want to see Bricc stay in jail? And everybody started saying 10, 10, stay in jail. I asked the question based on us reading the paperwork that the court just proposed, reread his charges. New things were revealed to us, situations with his baby mother, wiretap intercepts that he was caught on, laws that he was breaking, his criminal history. We just read a lot of shit that was not out there publicly before. And when we read it, it makes Bricc Baby look like a fucking savage, right? So then we read this type of shit, and then we ask the question, okay, so who's gonna read this and still give him bond? Scale to 1 to 10. Who believes that? And everybody says 0. That doesn't mean that people want to see him in jail. Where do you get that from? How do people deduce that from what we just read? How do you get to this place? Like, I don't get it. Chat. Oh, I apologize if so. If you're saying the courts want him down. Duh. You saw what we just read? If that's what you mean, then I apologize. I thought you meant that the chat wants him in jail. And I'm just like, how? Look at the chat is they're just listening to what we read. So I apologize if that's what you meant differently. But yeah, of course, the courts want his ass down. Like, like, look what they just wrote. They trying their best to keep that man from getting a bond or bail. All right. Shit. We an hour in, and I gotta get through this Drake topic as promised. I ain't gonna skip out on it. Fuck it. Let's do it. All right, let's get right to it. I can't even summarize the Bricc thing because that was a lot. Fuck it. All right. Say Drake. Drake's friend, confidant, in some people's eyes, security guard, homie, supposed label mate, right? Didn't he sign him or whatever? Did an interview. Baka. If I was Drake, I would have asked Baka to never do an interview. Like, your name is synonymous with one of the biggest lines from one of the or arguable biggest hip hop songs in history. Baka got a weird case. Why is he around? And the certified lover boy, certified. We're all even sitting there during the Grammys and the Super Bowl halftime show. Like, is he gonna say it? Is he gonna say it? It spins right off of his name. Like, Baka to me is a guy that should never do an interview. Never. Especially if it's just to address, I shouldn't say just to, because I didn't watch the whole thing, but especially if within it, he's going to be addressing the song. Unless y'all see legal tactics in it, like you speaking about this and claiming that it hurt us at some point, we could use to like leverage within the case, the defamation case. If you feel legally it helps you, then whatever floats your boat. But from a general standpoint, I wouldn't be doing interviews if I was Baka. I just wouldn't. But and this is the thing. Drake and his side gives us so much to criticize and critique. Kendrick's side doesn't. They just don't. They just boogeyman type move. They don't give a shit. Or a lot of shit. So, all right. Baka Not Nice says he almost responded to Kendrick Lamar over Not Like Us accusations, but Drake told him to let it go. Well, what was his response going to be? All right.
How is it for you to hear all the noise that people were saying, right? People were just talking about stuff that they don't even know about, saying, oh, Ray, this is this, whatever. Yeah. How did you keep your composure and stay calm?
Yo, to be honest with you, man, at first, my first initial thing was to respond and respond quickly, very efficiently, and very to the point.
Very directly.
Yeah, and but like it started brewing in me because where I come from, like that shit doesn't happen. Like you can't just call out a man and not have paperwork to back up your talks. Like that is ludicrous. And then like to see like a whole nation behind it and celebrating it like it's a true story is unbelievable because everybody has to understand, like I have a kid, Drake has a kid, you know what I mean? So like making accusations like that are like,
how is it for you to hear all the noise that people were saying?
Ridiculous and it is out of this world, you know what I'm saying? So but like what I was going to tell you is this, like I was building up a lot of anger and stuff like that, but then I got a call and I don't know why I got this call. It's like God said something to him or something, but the boy, sorry, it might not have been a call, it might have been a text message, but he messaged me and he's like, yo, I know what you're feeling. I know you as an individual and I know how you get down, but I'm just letting you know, like, don't listen to the noise because it's noise. And if you go back and look at all these people that are saying things or having anything to say, they're not even actual real people. They're like bots.
Exactly.
So like, don't let that shit bother you, bro.
Facts.
Like, and you know what? Like, I mean, it's not a good thing, but they're calling your name. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, like, they're gonna get over this crap because they're gonna realize that this crap, and then they're gonna go do their own research. Ridiculous and
it is
out of this world. You know what I'm saying? And when you do your own research, you're gonna be like, wow, this guy made up a whole story about something that isn't even true, and it makes you look weird to me. I don't know.
It does.
But I want to say one thing to America, and y'all need to like get yourself together because, yo, making accusations on people, serious accusations like that, you need to have paperwork. That is the rule, like number one rule that everybody goes by. So don't switch up. That's all I'm gonna say. And when you do your own research, you're gonna be like, wow, this guy.
I get it, man. I guess if you're in Drake and Baka's shoes, a worldly song like that hurts. That's the only time I could be fair in this whole segment that we're about to get into. I don't see any other areas I'm going to be able to be fair. The paperwork thing, I didn't grow up like that. You know what I'm saying? As far as accusations require paperwork. Snitch accusations. That's all we're pretty much familiar with as far as universally known and widely accepted. Snitch allegations require paperwork, not accusations, period. Okay? People can say, yo, did some PDF stuff or whatever based on that audio with the kid. Was the allegations, right? Don't need paperwork. You're like, let's just get that out of here. Do y'all see the lane that I'm about to go into? Some of y'all already got it in the chat. Said, because y'all are listening to him and y'all have similar thoughts as me. And it's just like, what do you mean? Like, it was a rap battle. It was a rap battle, right? Keep that premise, people. Rap battle. Okay? Keep the premise, keep the foundation, keep the root, keep the fact, keep the truth. Rap battle. All right, let's start the walk. Keep that. Let's walk.
I have no desire to ever mend anything with that person. And yeah, that situation just went, it just went where it went. And it's just, there's no turning back. It's not like those other situations. I'll say at that point, it wasn't even about battle rap or any of that. It was just, the information was too shocking. It was, like I said, it was on his part, it was a genius chess move. He obviously has no, when it comes to me.
He just called it a genius chess move. He said on his part, it was a genius chess move. You want to know why? Stay with the premise, people. Rap battle. It was a genius chess move because one of the most powerful things you can do within a rap battle is to get the fans to ignore your opponent's bars or your opponent's angles or your opponent's rounds. I.e., Big K is writing his 3 rounds for Adi Boom. Go replay that battle. His second and his third round were kind of like, what he did in that first round erased the rest of the battle. The rest of the battle doesn't even matter. In the building, they were still cheering for Adi Boom in the second and the third. But memory-wise, history-wise, going forward-wise, it's erased. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares. It's all about that Big K first round. And when Pusha T comes out and says, you are hiding a child, Drake, you are correct here. I just want to see the consistency. That was a genius chess move by your own words. Because you make everybody just go, wait, what? Meet the Grams tried to do that with the second child. That's when I walked off stream. I said, wait, what? The whole world, everybody, what? Another one? He tried to erase everything and just personals. You got battle rappers sometimes say, I don't know if I expect angles or just bar a Rum Nitty. He spent a lot of punches. We give him credit for his Lux battle because we say, oh, he had personalized angles. It wasn't universal punchlines. Then you face somebody like an Arsenal. All right, I'm going to be disrespected. You face somebody like a Math Hoffa. Math Hoffa was getting very well known for his angles. Like he would do those. Swave Sever as well, a chessboard angler type of person. He's going to get into that third round with Danny Myers and say, let's talk about your oversaturated personality of battle rap and how it bled into your household and your wife and everything, like angles, personals. They're battle erasers. They make what your opponent says irrelevant. Exposés. When Arsenal puts the phone and the camera to try to show T-Top's BM, allegedly, it's erasing moments. When you come out and you say, look at this paperwork. Tay-Rock tried to do that to Kid Slade. These are erasers. Like, fuck the raps. The genius chess move approach. It's been done a million times. Let's continue.
He's not going to have any morals or respect. So the other elements of the record, whether it be like the shit that he's making up about my mom and my dad and all this dumb shit, or obviously the part that hit me the most, which is wishing that my friend that has an illness dies. That shit to me is just not really wavy. I'm just not really with that.
A lot of us aren't, Drake. Arsenal, for example, what did he do to Shadi Horror? What did he do to Shadi Horror? Right? It's battle rap, though. Keep the premise.
And when I did say, oh, there's rules to this, I didn't mean there's rules that anybody has to follow. But in battle rap, they just headshotted that guy the other day because he was on stage and he pulled out a picture of the guy's dead aunt and started rapping about, that type of shit. And it's just, it just is what it is. There's a point where you're gonna want to stop rapping. I'm sure I could.
Yes, and you do have that right, whether it's in the contract or whether you want to take a walk when the battle is over, or whether somebody's angles or personal attacks got to you that much, i.e. what you're showing us right here, right? You're a man. Everybody's different. You got a lot of people that say you take that stage. If I got some skeletons in my closet, my opponent might bring up. We've seen it a million times. They get exposed, and we just be like, oh, shit. He did what? She did what? You got pictures of what? Yeah, somebody might bring a picture to the stage of your. Some people try so hard to go viral, but they know that they can try it because it's battle rap. Will it work? Will your opponent want to slap you in the face? But the thing is, it's battle rap. So it is a part of what can possibly happen, right? And that example ain't even as bad to me as somebody having a bunch of documentaries on them where people keep questioning you, like, what's all these underage women? And then somebody saying, Baka got a weird case, which people interpret that he did. We read that already, right? Why is he around? Certified lover boy, certified. Like that. Imagine we watched Hitman versus Hustle this past Saturday. And let's say Hitman had those videos on him, like, yo, why are you hanging out with this girl from Stranger Things or whatever? Hitman, you too old for that, right? Pre-battle shit, right? And Hustle used that and called him a pedo for it. Will we all explode and say, oh, wait, you're crossing the line, Hustle? Pedo is out the equation. There's rules, there's rules to this shit. The most highest viewed, the most active, or one of the most highest viewed, most respected, most legendary, most Mount Rushmore battle rappers, most forefather pioneers of the world. His name is Arsenal, right? Somebody go look down his catalog and have the nerve to tell me about what a rule is. And he's not the only. There's a million Arsenals, people that have come down from that branch and said, I'm violating this mother. I've watched your favorites violate somebody. Math Hoffa bought paperwork on stage from a fucking lawsuit versus Hollow the Don. Some people might say that's crossing the line, but it's battle rap. You take that stage, you sign on for these possibilities. You have shit in your closet, don't get up there. Don't get up there. That's why I don't really rock with what Bad News is saying about the snitch angles. I'm warning y'all now. Somebody do it. You fucking up the money. I don't really fuck with that, because my thing is like, News, you don't have to battle rap anymore. I assume he's good. You don't have to battle rap anymore. You don't have to. If you feel like people playing with your name, or these battle rappers is fake and niggas do this and these niggas ain't about that shit, and they all talk shit behind my back or whatever, then fuck it. Like, stop coming around. Don't go around these niggas. The people that you say love you and respect you, your boys that's still from your hometown or whatever, stay with them. Well, I keep coming around a bunch of motherfuckers that want to play with your name and open yourself up to the cameras will be running. It'll be a pay-per-view event. If A-Ward gets up there and goes into a snitch angle on Bad News and Bad News fires on him, right? The cameras are running. You're walking yourself into assault charges or some shit. What if A-Ward pressed charges on Bad News for snuffing him? Nobody would be shocked. It's a fucking Christian rapper. I don't understand this shit. Let me go back to the Drake topic, man. Like, it's all relevant to me, but
say something about, your lovely lady, or, a child or a family member, and you're just going to want to not really rap anymore. Yeah. So that's just kind of where I got to. It's just, I just had to admit, like, yo, I'm really, and when I was making the record in Response, which was a real record, I know people think it's like some myth. It was like on his Vinyls beat. And I just found myself saying things that, like, one, seemed really out of character just because I was like deeply invested in the situation and getting very angry. And saying things that I don't know if in 2 years I'd want to hear myself say. And I just realized that, like, nobody cares about this guy. So it's not really much I can say better than Drake Has a Baby. He won. He won off that.
Yeah, he did.
Off that bomb. I had at the time I was working with Adidas, and we were toying with the idea of a name being a play off of a name off of my son's name. I wasn't revealing my son with Adidas, so I wasn't gonna have my son
right.
But yeah, no, I was just, to be honest with you, I actually did a DNA test for my son, and they came back to us and they said that the DNA test got ruined in transit, and that they couldn't be 100% sure that was my son or not. So I was in a really weird pending situation where I didn't want to go tell the world that was my son, and it wasn't. If you see my boy, you'll understand. At the time I was like, he's just a stunning child, with the brightest blue eyes. And at the time I was like, I don't know. But it actually wasn't until a week before the album came out that I got confirmation that was definitely my son. It took me 2 more solid tests with 2 different companies. Yeah. So yeah, again, I wasn't like all the details of his record are all just like fabricated. So just to make it more interesting, the story is actually not really that interesting. The biggest part of it is that I have a son. But it wasn't like, I'm hiding him. Or he has a point. He can say, you brought up my lady's name. Oh, all bets are off the table. That's fine. Like I said, we all think differently, right? And even like, even in the me and Meek situation, if you listen back to those records, we didn't really go that crazy on each other. And we left Nick out of it, and we left kind of family out of it for the most part. Whether there was information that didn't get revealed or not, the point is like, there's just some unwritten rules in the sport for some people, obviously not for him, and that's fine, and he's just made an entire career off of it, and some people like his music. I personally don't, because I don't believe any of it, and I like to listen to guys that I believe. Also, you just get to peek behind the curtain too, right? It's like, when I was 16, thinking that he was the biggest dope dealer in the world, serving bricks to every corner of America. Yeah, sure, I'm sure I was, again, a fan, and obviously more so just a fan of like Pharrell and the Neptunes. I always wanted to be signed to Star Trek and stuff like that. That was like the way. But yeah, now that I'm grown up and I actually know him, and the truth is just kind of like, I don't know, it's not as appealing as it was. I think that.
All right, man. At least he's trying to cover up that, because this will always be there, and I'm not trying to be petty by pulling this up, people, but it's just there. It's just true.
But it had his autograph on it. I just thought he was crazy for spending $200 for a Pusha T microphone. Well, supposedly
$200 for, I think, a signed, autographed Pusha T microphone off like eBay or something that Drake copped, right?
Signed by Pusha T. That's a waste of money. Sorry, Pusha. I could have sold that and said Pusha T signed it. I used to pretend I was doing interviews on the red carpet and perform all the clip songs. My basement was doing interviews on the red carpet and perform all the clip songs. My basement with the mic. I'm a full-size teen at this point, so this isn't private. And then I performed with it so much that I rubbed the autograph off. I don't even know if he really signed it.
I performed with it so much I rubbed the autograph off. It's kind of crazy. Yo, Drake, man, I love your music, man. All right, let's we're not done. Y'all thought we was we're not done, man. If Kendrick got this shit on him, I promise you I'll do the same type of stream. I swear to God I will. But
I study rap battles for a living.
One more again?
I study rap battles for a living.
Okay, cool. I believe you. You had involvement before with King of the Dot, right? You also have stuff like this out there that we all seen. These type of backings. Do I need to say allegedly with URL? You studied RBE battles when you were constructing a card with Mook, right? That audio was out there. Drake loves rap battles so much, the Toronto rapper is partnering with broadcast company Caffeine to live stream battle rap competitions. This was posted February 11, 2020 by Rolling Stone. Drake is a man mired continuously in rap battles with a heart devoted to battle rap. In 2018, he explained, I study rap battles for a living, to LeBron James taking the long way around while admitting that he lost a beef with Pusha T. Some would argue Drake's job is less about studying rap battles and more about being a multi-millionaire pop star, but that's semantics. He's allowed to spend his YouTube time watching whatever he pleases. And as it stands, Drake loves spending time watching dudes freestyle, a mode of competition that has little bearing on the omnivorous pop instincts he's developed over the course of his career. The Toronto rapper is a frequent guest at the King of the Dot battles, one of the marquee events if you're into freestyle battles. I hate that they just call it freestyle battles like that. I mean, it is, but because, I remember that terminology, but Jesus, Rolling Stones, get hip. And back in 2011, Drake was so sad he couldn't attend an event that he posted a weirdly heartwarming video where he dubs himself the official King of the Dot representative and its #1 fan. Since then, he's hit the stage at Smack URL Gnome 5 Night of Main Events, smiling in front of a crowd that wants him to battle Murder Mook. On Thursday, the world's most popular rapper put his dedication to the sport in writing by announcing a partnership with the broadcast company Caffeine. Very few people have heard of to live stream a battle rap competition, URL. I've always loved URL and admired what Smack and his team have been able to create. Drake said in a statement via Complex, it just wasn't easily accessible. It's exciting to be in the position where I'm able to bring Caffeine to the table and help provide URL with the tools they need to elevate the viewing experience and make it more accessible to fans. Well, no comment. It's unlikely that we'll see Drake participate in rap battles. The Caffeine formula along with the app kind of has reduced the exposure of this shit. But there was a lot of money flowing around, as well. A lot of people say from Caffeine. So, shout out to Caffeine and Drake with this move for a lot of battle rappers 8 from what we hear. So that's dope. Caffeine, Drake's new live streaming platform of choice, was founded by whoever this is, Ben K, a former Apple designer. According to CNN Business, we can't pay the kind of money that Microsoft or Amazon can pay, so we have to differentiate on that, and we offer to a better product. This guy said of Drake's partnership with the company. So Rolling Stones was reporting that Drake partnered with Caffeine. We saw some limited involvement with him from a public standpoint. I'll leave it there. I don't know how much involvement he had behind the scenes. I'll leave it there. Who knows? I'm not sure. But last but not least, sticking with rap battles and Baka's interview and the things that Drake has said about the Pusha T battle and things like that, despite him studying battle rap, despite all these battle rap, matches of the world showing that everything is on the table. I just want to give an example of it, right? Because your round isn't about being true. It's about invoking the fans who had better rounds, who had a better rap battle, who had better bars, who had more thought-provoking lyrics, shit like that. Who excited you more, who had better punchlines, better metaphors and similes and all this type of stuff. That's what it boils down to, person to person, when they just judge a battle, okay? You have a thing called sarcasm. You have a thing called irony, right? You have hyperbole, right? You have also flat out lying. You are subject to all those things if you take the stage. You can take a stage and somebody could just flat out say, you beat the shit out of your baby moms last night. You be like, nigga, I don't even have a child. Like, how many times do we see the rappers shake their heads? This rapper, this woman, especially in the female battle rap, right? You fucked all these battle rappers about, and some of them be shaking their head. No, that ain't true. That's defamation, right? Shit, Blueface just lost a fucking lawsuit on that. With Blueface saying that he cut Soulja Boy's BM, right? She opened up a defamation lawsuit. Would that not be exactly the fucking same? In the same, if one of these female battle rappers takes the stage and they say, you fuck this battle rapper, this battle shit, QB battle Shuni, and QB said, you fucked enough battle rappers to start a card or some shit like that. Like, she wild on No, was it Shuni or was it Farrah? No, I think it was Shuni. Yeah, it was an RBE battle. QB versus Shuni. QB was wilding on Shuni for her. Same thing when O-Red battled Shuni on my stage. Right? O-Red was wilding on Shuni for her sexual behavior or whatever she's doing in her personal life. What if it's not true? What if is Shuni supposed to sue O-Red? Is Shuni supposed to sue QB? The same way that you know, I can understand if Soulja Boy's BM, that's not a rap battle. I'm just saying, damn, y'all be careful. Y'all fucking out here lying on y'all dick and trolling each other like, oh, I fucked your baby moms, and the baby moms comes and sue you. I think it's like, damn, like, be careful of that. It's a suing world right now. But rap battles, they put that type of shit on each other every battle. Hitman just said it to Hustle this past Saturday. They just said Hitman's on TV, MTV wilding out and shit. He just said that type of shit to Miss Hustle. Miss Hustle's supposed to put a defamation lawsuit on him, right? Some of this shit is true. Some of this shit is false. Some of this shit is hyperbole. Some of it is sarcasm. Some of it is irony. But at the end of the day, it's all the premise of battle rap. Let me give you this example. I'm not saying that I think that what we're about to play is true. I'm not going to say that. But it damn sure won the round. That's the point. So if you study battle rap, Drake, then understand that this is what the fuck we do.
Hey, yo, what? Hey, what?
Straight to it.
Come on, that's what we do. You remember when you mattered? Always. Shit, crazy. Yo, I comedy. I remember. I love comedy. You remember when you mattered? Still do. We haven't cared in a minute. And that lazy approach is almost stereotypic. Like, I was a fan back in the day. I'm not scared to admit it. I could give you your flowers and then bury you with it. See, you signed a Young Money when everybody bumped their shit. An opportunity every battler would hope to one day get. But what happened behind the scenes? I'm not saying you sucked their dick. But at the very least, I think you got your butt played with. You know what I'm saying? What's your relationship with Baby? Did you kiss him? Do you still talk to Lil Wayne? Do you miss him? Your bitch ass. Shut your dick eating ass up.
His ad-libs is crazy. Your bitch ass. Shut your dick eating ass up. His ad-libs is crazy.
What is your relationship with Baby?
Let's say it again.
Did you kiss him?
Yo, I'm screaming.
Do you still speak to Lil Wayne? Do you miss him? I mean, they treated you like fam. That's for sure. You little sis. Your Ghost Rider was Gutter Gutter. Your big bro was Lil Twist.
Come on. You can't help but laugh. It's comedy.
Hey. And I heard a rumor. And you love it. Damn. Hey, look. And I heard a rumor. Hey, look. Look, I know you did. Look. Hey. And I heard a rumor. I was hope you translate about why they let you go and you couldn't hold the fan base. I heard you let a stylist flip your pancake. Way back before the virus, you had a mandate. Hey, damn straight. The way they did Brody was flagrant. Hey, the way they did Brody was flagrant. But at least he made memories that he can go to the grave with. He was thinking he joined the team because Weezy wanted the motor replacement. Thinking it's party time, but it was Wayne's World, and they kept your whole show in the basement.
Oh my God.
That was fire. What? You was never built to be the real duplicate. We heard the songs that you was on, we just didn't feel you in it. So fuck your comeback to battle rap, I will ruin it. I don't want to hear what you did, I'm still doing it. You gonna make me try your chin, then it's funeral music. Now tell him cue the violin. Eat shit, Mills. Fuck who thought you might have win, you kissed Birdman in the mouth. The dog strikes again.
Now, Big K, he put some wild allegations out there, right? Nobody walked away from this battle screaming like, "Oh my God!" Like Jay Mills, that's it. Go sue Big K. Like You know, now this footage is online, and how many views is it? It's 200. It's almost 250,000. It's 240,000 views. Right, it's a decent amount of people that watched Big K say those things to Jay Mills. Who would have ever in their mind thought about a defamation lawsuit behind that? Nobody. And this is just what's crazy to just keep seeing this, and all these type of thoughts just spin from what Baka says in his interview, like, y'all don't got paperwork, and I can't believe somebody would put those accusations. This is battle rap, okay? That is battle rap. And you take that stage or you engage, that is the nature of battle rap. Don't let these people try to change it. Don't let them try to change what we do, okay? Real quick, I do got one more clip I want to bring up, but I want to say, okay, nice guy, appreciate the super says, when did displaying presenting art require paperwork? Right. I thought there was a case law that prevents lawsuits from art and representation through art. Well, I'm just saying. I would love to see Drake's lawsuit get shredded if it's really about defamation. You know, if he's really trying to go at some shit like he's been robbed or whatever, then I'm not sticking up for UMG. You know what I'm saying? But if this is really over the song and defamation, you lost. You lost, man. Like, you lost. Top of my game. Appreciate the super says, this nigga act like we didn't hear what he was saying about everybody else. Right. Nobody tried to sue him. And UMG put that type of shit in his paperwork. In their response, it was like, look at the shit that he said to people. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? This is insane. I just hate when people do shit and then they want to run to the authorities or the court behind what they want to allege somebody else did. It's like, bitch, nigga, you've been doing this. Are you serious? That's bitch shit. That's bitch made shit. Bitch made shit. Real quick, let me just show this real fast because we want to put a shot clock at this point on 50 Cent. I fuck with 50 Cent. We fuck with 50 Cent. But yeah, it's time to start tapping the wrist on 50. All right, we can't lift 50 off the hills because we fuck with him. I mean, off the hook. It don't work like that.
Maybe people misconstrue sometimes things, or maybe whatever, or maybe I'm wrong. But you know what I mean? There's no, like, people think there's some super secret underworld and whatever. Judges and the Department of Justice and judges and all, they're separate. You know, the US court system is separate from the FBI, separate from law enforcement. And when you bring something to them, if you have something that documents need to be sealed or to protect people, whatever, there's a procedure of doing that. But if you cooperate, there's no secret way of sentencing people or whatever. There's court documents that can be searched for that. So if he cooperated in the beginning, and I never heard of it. So it's cheap. What are they going to cooperate in jail on? You know what I mean? Like, I don't see that as being true.
Maybe
I don't think
cooperated inside and gave up information, which
you would see that. You would see it though. You would see the reduction in the sentence. You know what I mean? There would be something like, there's a thing called a Rule 35, and that's a post-conviction cooperation agreement. And what can happen is, and I did a Rule 35 once where a guy who we had in jail said, hey, listen, I know where this guy who murdered somebody is. He's hiding in the DR, and here he is. So sure enough, we got him out of the DR. Then he was like, hey, I know where there's 100 kilos. It's in this house in Queens, and these guys are going to show up in a Saturday to take it out. And we intercepted that load. So we went to the judge and said, he got a cooperation agreement, and you sentenced him to 15 years in jail. He just gave us this. Can you do anything for him? And the judge took like 10 years off his sentence. So if he got a Rule 35, you would know about it. There's a court hearing. You can't hide stuff like that. There's no super secret court that hides that stuff. Like, if you get a reduction, it's going to show. You know what I mean? So maybe people misconstrue sometimes things, or maybe whatever, or maybe I'm wrong. But you know what I mean? There's no, like, people think there's some super secret underworld and whatever. Judges and the Department of Justice and judges and all, they're separate. You know, the U.S. court system is separate from the FBI, separate from law enforcement.
So the reason why I say like, yo, time is ticking, 50, like what we doing here is if we look at, you know, the Big Meech situation briefly, if you're Cuffy and you're in there, yeah, you probably got your third eye and you probably feel weird about some things that's happened. And then also when we read through the Big Meech paperwork, we saw that whole piece with, you know, was it Tammy? And you know, one of the detectives that she was working with, she started allegedly having a relationship with him, and she was deemed very uncredible because she retracted on some of her stuff, and she was putting allegedly people together to do shit that was like deals and whatnot, and it was allegedly via Big Meech, you know, like, hey, you know, put this guy with this guy, and that's where the term third party cooperation came in, right? So there's some gray area there where when we read that, we said, ooh, that's not too clear. It's a little grayness there, like, But when we read the whole paperwork, there was nothing that clearly said this man, Big Meech, is an informant, he's a rat, or he snitched on somebody. It's just not there in the paperwork. We read it. It's not there. So 50 Cent, I don't want him to end up being like a Whack 100. Like Whack 100, I feel will call you a snitch, call Bricc Baby a snitch for over a year. And then this week get on camera and say, I don't think he snitched. I just think that he was getting extorted. What? I thought you guys wasn't supposed to do that without black and white. So the out that 50 has is this documentary that he was talking about that's on the way with this girl, Tammy. I hope you wasn't stunting. I hope you wasn't. Because you can't be doing that type of shit to people. Is Big Meech 100% clean? Who knows? Who knows? But it's either you got the proof or you don't. Or y'all just be out here playing with this shit. He's a snitch. He's a rat. You get a snitch label. You get a snitch label. You get a rat label. You get a rat label. Then y'all just playing with it. In which case, y'all watered down. That's why they say the streets is dead. You know what I'm saying? Like 50, we fuck with you. But to be out here and it looks like it stemmed from Big Meech taking the picture with Rick Ross. And it's just like, fuck that. I'm canceling everything. The show is canceled. This is fuck all that. Everybody's done. Cool. Or maybe you have some reasons where you don't fuck with them anymore. Cool. That's all fine. But to wrap up the biggest accusation that you could put on a Big Meech that is coming home to his freedom. If he didn't do it, he didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? At least in the paperwork. If he did it, and you got some proof that's not in the paperwork, because that's a possibility, then I don't care about you posting right now. Mayweather might be lying about some of the real estate he bought in New York. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. A lot of these motherfuckers lie on shit. Even the billionaires and millionaires still lie on shit. When Floyd Mayweather did that video saying, like, I own 80% of Manhattan, I'm exaggerating, but a lot of us scratched our head a little bit. Whether he was adding on some extras or whatever, and we didn't peer into it because we know the man's super filthy with his money. So we left it alone. And 50 still wants to jump out. Hey, everybody, my old nemesis, Floyd Mayweather, he got caught capping. Ha ha. Grow up, nigga. You want to know what we want to hear you addressing right now? Something way more serious. Like, is this street legend that you called a rat and you say got a documentary coming based on Tammy that allegedly helped perform third-party snitching? That's what we want to see. Because if you don't got that, technically, you're never going to apologize, but technically you owe Big Meech a retraction. Is it just me? You a fuck about Rick Ross and Floyd Mayweather, and if the son just left the hospital because of alleged drug overdose or whatever. Oh, that's all fun and trolling for you. What about this Tammy documentary and these snitch labels you're talking about, dude? It don't take as long to get all the paperwork and the finance and all that shit done for your Hollywood fucking build out thing. Okay? Rick Ross fucked up there. With this Tammy documentary, can we get a trailer? Can we get a date? Can we get something from Tammy? I didn't even see her. I just see you posting her. Did Tammy actually make a statement that I don't know about? That, yeah, me and 50, we got something coming? Because people like me ain't gonna forget this. A year from now, I'm gonna say 50 still ain't proved that Big Meech is a snitch and did that the whole internet caught fire when he put up that rat emoji. The whole internet. You did that to that man and didn't prove it. That's foul. Unless you're gonna prove it. That's all I'm saying. All right. Damn, hour 40, man. I did not think that Bricc Baby paperwork was gonna take an hour of our stream. Yeah. I might, like I said, I might go redo the thumbnail, but shout out to the whole chat. Shout out to Checks and Balances. We in there sharing news and checking each other. Shout out to all the members. Shout out to all the mods. I might be back tonight with a special guest. Me and one of the biggest battle rappers in the game were talking about, linking up today to, chop up some things, talk about some stuff that's going on. So I might be back here with a special guest. We'll see. Keep your notifications on, keep your eyes open. In the meantime, it's your boy, and we'll be back ASAP.
Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss, making decisions my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I dropped it, connected the block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry True Podcast. Welcome to the house of. And shout out to the members.
Without our thing, still got a gun.